Election Recovery Challenge. So welcome everybody to today's challenge. I want to thank you for so much for joining me today as we begin this election recovery, reclaim your power journey. You're here because you might be feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or a bit ungrounded by all the recent events. If you find yourself unable to unwind, feeling like your mind is constantly racing, know that you're in the right place. Um, so what we're going to do today, let me just grab my notes. You're here because you want to regain a sense of balance in a world that often feels chaotic. If you feel like life is happening to you, or you're struggling to hold on to your sense of self amidst all this noise, I want to assure you you're in the right place. So, as someone who has worked with so many individuals navigating stress and overwhelm, I've seen firsthand the power of shifting from feeling like a victim of our circumstances to owning our responses. It's not always easy. Mm-mm. But it's incredibly liberating. Yeah. I'm excited to share these practices with you today, and I'm confident they will help you feel more in control of your emotions and your reactions moving forward. So, by the end of today's session, you'll have tools to step into your personal power with more awareness and intention. You'll understand how to observe your thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. And more importantly, you'll be reminded that you, I'm looking at you, have the power to choose how you respond to everything around you. I'll also mention that at the end of this week, I'll be offering an opportunity to go even deeper in these practices in my upcoming course. So if you feel called to take your personal transformation to the next level, I'll share more about that later in the week. So, quick reminder, if you can't join us live today, uh, don't worry. Or if you have to drop off, I'm like, if you can't join us live, you're on right now. It's live. If you have to drop off, this will be posted. This video will be posted to the group so you can rewatch it later. And if you're not part of the group, send me a message and I'll add you to the group. All right. So let's think about what you might be doing now that isn't working. So in times of stress, we often default to knee-jerk reactions like blaming others, worrying about the future, getting stuck in overwhelming emotions. I know y'all are doing a lot of that. I'm hearing a lot of that from everybody, and I'm doing it too. Um, you know, with all that's going on. So this cycle can leave us feeling out of control and drained. And it's been scientifically proven that our bodies and minds, they operate in patterns. So when we don't stop and choose how we respond, these patterns just take over. So you're like essentially on autopilot. Are you doing the same thing, similar things this election as you were last time? Or do you notice similar types of emotions and responses coming up for you as happens during other challenging events? And are they things that you don't enjoy or want to come up anymore? So that's what I want you to think about. These are patterns, okay? And the good news is we have the power to change these patterns. And modern neuroscience shows this and supports this. And I did neuroscience for my PhD. So I'd like to think I'm a credible source. Um, Modern neuroscience is um, supporting this idea of neuronal plasticity, our ability to change these patterns. But this is something that yogic traditions have known for thousands of years and have taught methods to help us learn how to break these patterns. So that's what we'll be doing today. So to reclaim your power, you need to step into the role of observer. So this means taking a step back and noticing your reactions without getting caught up in them. You'll also need practices to take responsibility for your responses to outside events. So today I'm going to introduce you to these tools: meditation to help you observe your thoughts, mindfulness meditation in particular. This is a method that teaches you how to be the observer. And then we're going to follow this by journaling to process your feelings and take ownership of your power. All right, lovely. So I'm excited to do this with you today. And let's start by well, first I'll introduce our theme for today, which you probably already picked up on. It's finding your center and reclaiming your power. Okay. And by connecting with our inner observer, we start to see ourselves as separate from our thoughts and emotions. So we gain power by choosing how we respond rather than being pulled in every direction by what's happening around us. And we all know how that feels, to be on your heels, to be reactive. And when you can step into this observer mode, you can get into a more proactive standpoint, which allows you to have more control. All right, so let's start with our meditation. I want you to find a comfortable seat. Okay, so usually sitting on the edge of your chair where your feet can be flat on the ground, palms on top of the thighs, spine nice and long, shoulders back and down. Gently close the eyes and take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel your feet on the earth, and your sit bones on the chair. Feel your spine stacked one vertebra on top of the other in one straight, tall line. Shoulders directly over hip bones. Bring your awareness to your breath. Just let it flow naturally. No need to change it or alter it. Just notice it. And place your attention wherever you feel the sensation of the breath the strongest. For many people, this is on the abdomen or belly button, feeling the belly rise and fall with the breath. But it could be in your chest, or your back, or in your nose. Just scan to see, excuse me, where that sensation is the strongest, and just make a choice of where you're going to place your attention. And notice the inhale and the exhale. That with the inhale, there is expansion. And the exhale, there is contraction. And what does that physically feel like? You're stretching, pulling, pressing, tightness. Their contraction, relaxation, tingling. Just notice whatever physical sensations are there and how they shift and move as you breathe. And you'll notice that as you place your attention on the physical sensations, the mind will get active. Sometimes it will get very active with thoughts about the future or thoughts about the past. And just let those thoughts come and go. And bring your attention back to the physical sensation of your breathing. You can imagine those thoughts like waves rolling by in the middle of the ocean. You're a sailboat. You rise and fall as the thought rolls by. And you place your attention back on the physical sensation. And the sensation of an inhale and an exhale. Inhale and exhale. Notice the physical sensations shift or change over time. Just be there with them. Maybe there's a lack of sensation. Just notice that. Observing the physical thoughts. Observing the physical sensations. Letting them rise and fall. If thoughts come up, letting those rise and fall. Perhaps emotions arise. And just let those rise and fall. Keep bringing your attention back to the physical sensations of the breath. Watching the inhale and the exhale, and the space in between. Noticing the sensations, letting them come and go. No need to judge them. There is no right or wrong way to feel the breath. Just be with it. Acknowledging anything that comes up, boredom, frustration, gratitude, whatever thoughts or emotions arise, stretching, pain, lack of sensation. Just acknowledging them, noting them, and then letting whatever's next come forward. And then slowly, as your eyes remain closed, expanding your awareness out to the entire body, feeling your body on the chair, your feet on the floor, sensing the room around you. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, maybe roll the neck a few times. You come back to this moment in this room and slowly bat the eyes open. Take a few moments, come back into the space. And I want you to acknowledge any shifts that may have occurred for you when you first started the meditation. And are you more calm or relaxed, or are you agitated? Whatever's coming up, I just want you to acknowledge it, note it, and we'll move into journaling. So go ahead and grab a pen and a piece of paper. Let's see if I have one here for myself. And the first thing we're going to do is write down anything that came up during the meditation, okay? So just anything you feel like you want to write down, go ahead and write that down now. And then we'll move to our first question. And I want you to think of a recent situation where you felt reactive or out of control. And ideally, like the more small or simple the situation, the better. So rather than the election, maybe let's think of a specific moment from today or yesterday where you weren't your best self. You were maybe reactive or felt like you didn't control your response. So for me, that can often look like being kind of short or snappy with my spouse or my kids. Like, what? What do you need? Ah, mom's busy. So did you have that kind of scenario, or did you have some anger that was maybe unjustified in traffic? Whatever it is, just think of a situation where you felt reactive or out of control, not your best self, and what were your automatic thoughts or feelings in that moment? So go ahead and write those down. We'll take a minute now. Write down what were your automatic thoughts or feelings in that moment. Okay. So wrapping it up, any automatic thoughts or feelings you had in that moment where you were being reactive? Now I want you to go back to that situation, okay, that specific situation, and think about how you could have responded differently if you were in a place of calm and centeredness. So if you were in this observer state and you were able to have space between the stimulus and the response, so between the yelling kids and everybody asking you for everything at the same time and screaming back at them or um, you know, having a response that you felt was reactive, reimagine that situation where you're able to respond from a place of calm and centeredness. You're in traffic, and what are you going to do when somebody cuts you off if you're feeling calm or centered? Okay. So, whatever your scenario was, take a moment and write that down. And then, lastly, I want you to think about, I want you to reflect on what it would mean to take full responsibility for how you respond in challenging situations. How would that feel? How might it empower you? So, what does it look like? How does it feel? How does it empower you if you take responsibility for how you behave in traffic, for how you behave when things are overwhelming? What does that feel like? I want you to write that down. So, when you take some time with these reflections, allow yourself to explore how shifting your perspective can help you feel more in control. Um, One thing this really reminds me of is something my mom used to always say. We have alcoholism runs in our family, and there's an expression, pour me, pour me another drink, right? And the idea here is that when you're feeling bad for yourself, when you're feeling disempowered, you're more likely to make a non-supportive decision. Okay. And I don't know, that phrase has just has really helped me throughout my life to think about, we all get handed cards and some people get an awful hand. There's no doubt about that. But we have our own challenges, and what are you going to do with those challenges? And what kind of approach are you going to take? That's kind of the questions we're starting to chip away at today. So, as we close, let's set an intention to carry this awareness of the observer with us throughout the day. And if you notice yourself feeling reactive or overwhelmed, try pausing, observing, and choosing how you want to respond. And you'll notice that just one shift can like completely transform how your day rolls out. So go ahead and play with that. It's something that it's a practice that it's a practice over a lifetime. It's not something you're ever going to perfect, but start to play with it and see what comes up for you. And let me know. Let me know how it goes. Post in the comments and in the group. And tomorrow we're going to meet at the same time at noon Mountain Time. We're going to focus on building your personal toolkit for moments of overwhelm. So together we're going to explore more practical skills that you can call on in stressful situations to stay grounded, calm, and centered. So thank you for being here today, for choosing to reclaim your power. I look forward to, seeing you tomorrow. And until then, keep on practicing and notice how you're feeling. Tap into that inner observer and let's keep supporting each other on this journey. Bye, y'all.